Billy was harmed when Sally left. What happened on The Young and the Restless? Holden, Nathan Owens, tried to play nice with Claire, Haley Erin, and Kyle, Michael Mealer, on The Young and the Restless Image, CBS. Chelsea thanked Adam for having lunch at Society, which got them out of the office. They briefly discussed business. Adam advised them to keep an eye on the aborted Abbott Communications launch party. Adam noted that Jack had said no comment about the gala not happening. Adam added that there were a million different pieces to a startup. When one thing goes wrong, the whole thing goes wrong. Chelsea jokingly stated that Victor must be devastated by the difficulties faced by the rival Newman Media. Adam stated that as long as Billy was involved, Abbott Communications would not concern him. Adam said he won't bring any work to dinner. They kissed. Chelsea brought Billy's name up again. She pointed out that Sally, not Biley, was in charge of Abbott Communications. Adam pointed out that Billy playing fast and loose to get what he wanted was a fact, not an opinion. Sally would not do anything shady to get over Newman, he added. Chelsea begged to differ as Sally did exactly that to Summer. Adam pointed out that both he and Chelsea used to do things that weren't on the up and up. Chesley noted that now they are both on the up and up most of the time. Adam stated that Billy would benefit from listening to Sally's advice. Adam suspected that Billy would let Sally be CEO in name only, and he'd be the one truly in charge. Chelsea gave Sally a vote of confidence. She didn't think that Sally would let Billy push her around. Kyle asked Claire if they could start over at Crimson Lights. The fact that Kyle had lied to her so easily, Claire said, was beyond her comprehension. Kyle said he was trying to fix what they had. Kyle said he hoped Claire loved him. He shared that he'd come up with a perfect solution. A trip to Paris was what Kyle suggested. He said they could leave right away or go in the morning. They didn't even need to pack as they could buy what they needed in France. Given that Claire would be working at Newman Publishing, Kyle suggested they visit some bookstores. Because he wanted to make Cole happy, Kyle said the trip could honor Cole. "Are we running?" Kyle inquired. Claire said she was tempted. "All you have to do is say yes," Kyle added. Claire gently broached the fact that this could be running away from their problems instead of dealing with them. Kyle suggested that they not look at this trip as running away, but rather running towards something, a stronger bond and a more meaningful relationship. Esther approached the couple and noted that she'd love to go to Paris. Esther told Claire that she was blessed. She added she was thrilled to see the young lovers go to Paris. Esther declared, "It will be magic." Claire said she couldn't go because she was going to start her new job at Newman Publishing. She also couldn't leave her mother. Kyle stated that she spoke with Victoria and that she is supporting them. Claire said she mentioned that. When there was a problem, Claire inquired of Kyle as to whether or not he did this. "Try fixing it," he asked. Claire brought up again that Kyle broke her trust, and she's not sure if Kyle throwing a shiny object at her, a trip to Paris, was the way to get past it. Kyle reassured Claire that the proposed trip to Paris would not be a distraction. He professed his love for Claire and asked her to be by his side. Kyle said that hurting Claire broke his heart. He wanted to know what it would take to make this right. Kyle asked Claire to tell him what she wanted and needed, he said. Holden entered at that exact moment. Esther brought 2 Café AU late drinks to Kyle and Claire on the house in honor of their trip to Paris. Claire said that she hadn't signed off on that. Holden apologized to Claire and Kyle for overstepping. He didn't want to add to their problems with Audra. Claire said they hadn't had problems with Audra recently. Holden said his talk with her must have worked. Kyle was suspicious, but then he admitted to possibly overreacting. Holden claimed to comprehend. He'd do the same thing if he had an amazing woman like Claire in his life. Holden added that he was off to Los Angeles because he was working for Kane and was going to close up Kane's real estate holdings in Southern California. Kyle wondered why Holden was back working for the man who was responsible for the death of his best friend, Damien. Holden said he realized Kane was not responsible for Damien's death. He said he was glad to have a job. "I bet you are," Kyle said. Claire said he was glad that he was sticking around. Holden asked Kyle if they were good when Claire went to take a call from Vicky. "Not even close," Kyle said, adding they never will be. Holden simply grinned at Kyle's claim. After a shower, Billy felt refreshed, but he wondered if his plans to eliminate Victor had driven Sally away from him. Sally recapped. Billy wanting to use Kane's AI software to bring Victor down. Billy said he'd just threatened to use it. Sally said there was too much risk. Billy said they'd get everything they'd dream of. Sally clarified that this was everything he'd dreamed of getting. She felt she was just along for the ride. Sally stated that she was enthusiastic about running Abbott Communications. However, Billy altered the strategy as a result of his desire for vengeance against Victor. Sally said that everything could blow up in Billy's face. Why would he even bother trying? Billy said this was his best shot at getting everything he wanted. He requested that Sally stand by him. Sally didn't like that Billy wanted to fund Abbott Communications through blackmail now that Jack had backed out. Sally was begged to stay with Billy. Even though Billy thought things could be better, life was great. Sally began to leave Billy behind. He told her they could have it all. She stated that Billy's overarching theme was retribution, obsession, and hatred. She didn't want to be a part of the picture. Sally left after grabbing her purse. Sally resisted Billy's calls for her to stop. Adam and Chelsea talked about how Billy dumped Sally again at Adam's office. Adam raved about Sally's accomplishments, which eventually miffed Chelsea. Adam was furious that Sally left Mochetti to work for Abbott Communications and that Billy caused her to lose 2 positions. Chelsea urged Adam not to blame Billy for everything, as they don't have all the details. Meanwhile, Billy called Katie and asked if Johnny was there. He asked them to go on speakerphone and shared that the news he wanted to discuss with them, Sally moving in with him, would have to wait. Chelsea noted that Adam will never think the best of Billy. Adam countered that Chelsea will always see the best in Billy, even though there isn't any. Meanwhile, Sally walked into society, where she ran into Adam and Chelsea. She let them know that Abbott Communications no longer employed her. Adam and Chelsea grilled Sally about her exit. Adam called Billy an ass and a son of a bitch. Adam pondered Billy's decision to fire the best CEO he had ever had. Chelsea asked if there was anything that they could do. Meanwhile, a wistful Billy picked up the faux copy of the Genoa City Chronicle he had made up for Sally that announced the success of Abbott Communications. Next, Sally told Adam and Chelsea that she was fine. She got a call. She walked off. Chelsea was informed by Adam, who had observed her screen, that Billy had been calling Sally. Sally drank at Society's bar. She remembered reading Billy's fictitious newspaper and the article that praised their personal relationship. Sally finally picked up the phone and returned Billy's call after he kept calling. She couldn't give him an answer as to whether or not she was walking away from everything or just the business part of his life. Next, Billy's phone rang. It was Kane. Billy tossed his phone to the side and pondered his next move. Billy is asked to make amends with Jill by Kane. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Wednesday, September 17, 2025, have Kane asking Billy to make amends with Jill, Victor multitasking to take down his opponents, and Jack giving Nikki a warning. Upcoming episodes of The Young and the Restless. On The Young and the Restless, Billy, Jason Thompson, and Jill, Jess Walton, will face off once more if Kane has his way. Kane, Billy Flynn, not only wants a better rapport with his kids, Matty and Charlie, but he also wants to see Billy, Jason Thompson, repair his relationship with Jill, Jess Walton. On Wednesday's show, watch for Kane to ask Billy to make amends with Jill. Following Chance's, Connor Floyd's, death, Billy and Jill recently exchanged harsh words. Billy was hurt to discover that Jill had spent some of Colin's, Tristan Rogers, last days with him. Is Kane making this request from the bottom of his heart, or does he really just want his surrogate mother and his ex-brother to get along with each other better? Victor, victorious. Victor, Eric Braeden, with his son Adam, Mark Grossman, moves people around like chess pieces on The Young and the Restless image, JPI. Victor Newman, played by Eric Braeden, has been breakfasting on enemies for decades. He stays 1 or 2 steps ahead of all of his enemies to maintain his dominance. Victor can fight them all at once or just one at a time. On Wednesday's show, watch for Victor to perform some multitasking. He's capable of pitting enemies against enemies, so taking one action will result in multiple foes looking at defeat. Don't be surprised to see Victor's adversaries and rivals go down the way they were. Even though Victor might not like it, Nikki, played by Melody Thomas Scott, and Jack, played by Peter Bergman, her ex-husband, have a good relationship. He helped her last year when she was battling her sobriety. Sure, Victor didn't approve of Jack's methods or, quite frankly, Jack himself. But that doesn't mean Jack and Nikki don't share a special bond. On Wednesday's show, watch for Jack to give Nikki a warning. Victor may have let up a little bit on Kyle, Michael Miller, in terms of his relationship with Claire, Hayley Erin, but he hasn't put aside his disdain for Jack. Jack tries to look at the big picture. He's not going to attach Victor outright, but he won't hesitate to protect his family if it's being attacked. Jack may feel that Nikki is the key to getting Victor to back off. On CBS and Paramount Plus during the week, you can watch all new episodes of The Young and the Restless.